also known as Dragonfly7673. This is being recorded on Monday, November 18th, and it is not quite 6 o'clock yet. This will probably be very short. There's not a huge amount of progress on things I can show you. As I said last week, it's kind of that time of year. If you hear crinkling in the background, that would be Missy, who has decided that playing, she's rolling around on a dirty towel she found and rolling into a plastic bag. And she just is having a grand old time, and she looks so happy I just didn't have the heart to take it away from her. But last week I told you that the thing I had been mainly knitting on, I'd probably get to show you. Well, I do. So, this was for best friend. His birthday was this past weekend, and this is based on Heather Kinney, Buchos Babe, Fiberista Files. This is based on her lined beanie pattern. The reason it's lined is because it is double layered. If I go like this, you can see it's got an inside layer and an outside layer. The inside is just stockinette. Now, there's a few different things I did differently. I used her measurements, and I used her idea, and then I kind of went off from there. For one thing, she says you start with ribbing. I didn't start with ribbing because I made a mistake. I started this at Knitting in the Mitten, and I wasn't thinking about it, and I just started knitting stockinette, and by the time I realized that I was supposed to start with ribbing, I wasn't going to rip it out again. I say again because the first time I did it, I didn't use her measurements. I thought I'd just make some up of my own, and the hat was going to be huge. The original cast on I had was more than 20 stitches bigger than what it is right now. Now, when you get to this rib pattern, ribbed in cables, this is 4x4 ribbed. So if I had 20 extra stitches, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be this much. 5 of those sections, too big. So, yeah. Actually, it was going to be 6. So it'd be even worse. It was going to be 24 stitches bigger. It was humongous. So I ripped it out, and luckily I hadn't gotten very far, maybe an inch, and I went, okay, this isn't working. So I ripped it all out, started again, and never occurred to me to start it in ribbing, and I didn't look at the pattern, because I had glanced at it and went, oh, I can do that. So I started in stockinette. Well, the problem is the stockinette curls. Well, since the stockinette portion was going to be on the inside, that meant that it would constantly be curling over his ears, and I figured that would drive him crazy. So I finished knitting a stockinette. I did my turning row. I designed for the cable and rib pattern, and when I had it where the outer layer matched up with the inner layer, I actually knit the 2 layers together. I picked up stitches on the cast-on row from the inside and stitched it together with 1 stitch on the outer layer that was still live on the needles. So, problems I had with this hat. On one of the cables, I missed a cross, so I had to drop down and fix it, which I've never done before, and I was proud of myself that I could do such a thing, but I was annoyed. I got partway up and realized I had dropped a stitch. The first time I tried to do these together, I tried to do it by eyeball. That was a mistake, because suddenly by the time I got almost all the way around, this was going to be it was going to be horrible. I realized that maybe I should have actually planned and counted the stitches all the way around. So I had to take that back out. So I had to take this out several times. And then, this was my hand spun. This was hand spun I had done earlier this year during, it can't be April. Let's see, March is Emerald, April's Diamond. I don't remember. During one of the bluish colors, the aquamarine color, I think. Something like that. I had done this because it was subtly blue. So I had hand spun this a while back. And then I realized that there was no way I was going to have enough hand spun to finish it. So if you look carefully, you can see that there are actually stripes in the top. I striped it with some gray Cascade 220 Superwash that I had in my stash. And luckily it matches really well. Best friend really likes it. He thought I did it on purpose and that it was kind of a neat feature. And it just so happened that he is a huge Colts fan, and it turned out, and I wasn't thinking about it originally, but it was Colts colors. So I found a place on Etsy that had the little pin for like, I think it was like $3 and $2 shipping or something like that. So I stuck the pin on there. But he had wanted a hat. I had made him a hat before that he wears frequently in the winter, but he really wanted another one that would be for the bitter, bitter cold when the wind's blowing. And I think this should do the trick, because it is very thick, very warm, and anyway, I'm going to stop here and post pictures of the hat and a picture of him wearing the hat. I finished that. I've been working on another item, but I can't show you because the person that it's for may watch the podcast. She does every now and then, and not when I'm expecting it, so I can't show the other thing I've been working on. Again, if you follow me on Plurk or Instagram, you probably will see things because some of the people I'm gifting to do not follow me there. So, other things I am working on. I have been slowly working on my sock. Now, I checked, and the last time you saw it, I had finished this red row and was about to begin this purple. Well, now I've gone through that purple, through the next red, and just starting the purple again, which means I've knit, 2 stripes since the last time you saw it. But because I've been working on other things, I've pretty much only been knitting on this during movies. So I knit between this, I knit most of this section during Carrie, and then I knit I knit from this cable to this cable during Carrie, and I knit from here to here during Thor. These don't go very fast because partially, like during Thor, I accidentally knit all the way around, and then that means I have to go back and fix my purls. It's not very good movie knitting, but it's the only thing I've had. I have also been working on, slowly, spinning on my spindle. I started this when I was at Knitting in the Mitten. It is a fiber optics braid. So it went from this bright green to kind of a tealy blue. I'm in a navy blue right now. And then it will go into a dark purple and eventually to a magenta. This is half the braid. I split the braid lengthwise. So all together it's totaling about 2 ounces. I think I have about 1 ounce on the spindle right now. It's just about where, I split the braid lengthwise, and then if I fold one of those in half, that's about where I am now. But I'm very slow on the spindle. So, especially when I'm joining new yarn, I have a terrible time. Now on the wheel, I'm much faster. I have been spinning my loop bat that I had picked for November for the Topaz colorway. So when you saw this last, I think it was full, and now I'm into the orange is almost done, and then I'm going to be into the last color of the taupe. So I'll post pictures of the spindle and the loop here. Alright, and I have not worked on my Topaz knitting project at all. We shall see if that gets any work on it. It may not happen, honestly. But that's because it's that time of year and it's not for anyone, so it's just kind of getting put on the back burner. Now, the prize for November is the skein of yarn from Tiff, and she'll be mailing it to the winner directly when we get to that point. Now, I wanted to start an idea brainstorming contest with you guys, and I'm looking for ideas for next year, what we want to do. The Birthstone Along has been wonderful. I really have loved the participation. So if you feel that the Birthstone Along is something that we should carry forward, that's great. Tell me that. If you have an idea for something else, tell me that. Because there are some like bigger projects that I haven't done this year because I was because we were doing the Birthstone Along, which kind of lent itself to more small projects, which was great because it was different from the previous year. Like, as I'm sitting here, I have a huge bag of Cascade 220 that Mom gave me for a wrap design that was designed by Susan Pandorf. I laugh. This is totally a side tangent. Susan Pandorf, the first time I ever met her was at Stitches Midwest, and she and I ended up walking around quite a bit, and in my head, all I'm thinking is, oh my god, I'm hanging out with Susan Pandorf. And I was trying to be very calm and not like show it, but she remembers me because I asked her to autograph my pattern, and she thought that was the coolest thing. Now we've seen each other at different events, and including she and I washed dishes together at Knittin' in the Mitten. So I was like, I still adore her, but now she's more of a regular person. But there's still a little part of me going, I'm washing dishes with Susan Pandorf. In case anybody doesn't know, Susan Pandorf designed the Even Star and a ton of other things, especially Lord of the Rings related. And then also she did a whole like floral shawl series. So she's got some really gorgeous stuff. Anyway, I have a wrap that I want to do that was designed by her. Anyway, back to our contest. I am looking for ideas for what kinds of things you would like to do next year. I like to keep the momentum we have going right now with the Birthstone Along, but it doesn't have to be the Birthstone Along. And this is a good time for us to start thinking about it, so we're not suddenly in January going, So I'm going to open a thread. I want you guys to talk and chatter. Then what I will do is I will take everybody who came up with who had an idea or who participated in the chatter. So basically you can post 5 times as you're going back and forth, but you'll get 1 entry. But I'll do that manually. Anybody that posts in that thread, I will keep track of. And you'll get 1 entry. And I have 3 prizes. So I'm trying to make this something so you guys will want to participate, as Tiki helps. Okay. 1 item is this Tix trinket. This is the one that I won while at Knittin' in the Mitten. Tix trinkets are fabulous for holding on your shawls or your wrap sweaters, things like that. So this is one of the prizes. The other one is this mitten keychain kit. This I got in my club shipment for the Unique Sheep, but I know I probably won't do it, so I thought, why not give it to you guys. And then the other one is a skein of yarn. And this was bought for somebody who, I'm not going to knit them anything. So at this point, it is now a freebie, and it's really pretty, and if you win it, it would work for next month's December's Birthstone Along. So I'll open the thread. We'll leave it open for 2 weeks, so I won't draw next recording. Next week is right before Thanksgiving. I will draw after Thanksgiving, and then I will try and get things shipped out as quick as possible, so if people want to use them for the December knit-along or for Christmas stuff, you can. You're very pesty. I think that's it. I'm sorry it's such a... Yeah. I'm sorry it's such a short show. Oh, I got one thing I can show you. I kind of hold this up, but this is a yarn saver. I got it off of Amazon. But it works awesome for my fiber and spindle. It doesn't get damaged. I actually carried it to Knitting in the Mitten that way. I thought about taking it to China that way, but it didn't fit in my suitcase. That's the only thing that kept me from doing it too. So, I will talk to you guys all later. Bye now.